Yeah? Oh, you hit the button. Sorry, I couldn't see you hit the button. Hey, everybody. I missed it when our control desk hit the button. Sorry. Hi, welcome back to our live stream this week. My name is Alicia, and this week we are going to talk about how to share previous conversations. So this is going to be a lesson about reporting the things that other people have said to you. So this is something a lot of you have asked questions about. This is something you hear a lot in TV, in movies. You use it every day when talking to people at work, at school, in your everyday life. So I think this is a really useful, but it's a really small point that is kind of difficult to master. So today we're going to focus on this, and I'm going to talk about some verbs that maybe you have seen like me talk about on the YouTube channel before, but I'm also going to introduce some expressions that native speakers use to report speech as well. So let's begin. Also, if you're just joining, please make sure to like the video so other people can find it a little more easily. And of course, share if you like as well. Good. I see we're up on Facebook. I hope it's up on YouTube as well. Hi, Facebook. I see you there. YouTube, I assume, is going. So as we wait for everyone to join us, couple little review points I wanted to share, a couple announcements. Oh yeah, good. Okay, hi YouTube. Hello, I see you. Deu and Helena and Daniel and Doce and Guto and Baku and Mr. Postman. Hello. All right, good. So YouTube and Facebook are both up. Maybe Twitter is up too. I will check. But good. So I want to, as usual, I try to have some kind of like review point or announcement. So this week, just a quick reminder or a quick, I guess, point. If you missed it, this week's Ask Alicia, or rather last week's Ask Alicia is now up on YouTube, but I thought this was a really good one for beginners. I think, yeah, you'll see it here. So this, I kind of prepared this one with beginners in mind. So if you're just starting out or if you're looking for kind of like ideas for goal setting for your English studies, you can check this out. This is on the YouTube channel. This is the most recent episode of Ask Alicia. So please check that out. Please visit the YouTube channel to check the latest video there. Okay, good. So I see lots of people in the chat on Facebook too. Sean and Kanchan and Pablo, hello. Okay, good. So let's begin with today's lesson. As I said, today's lesson is about how to share previous conversations. So how to report the things that other people have said to you. To begin then, I want to review a few key verbs that we use to talk about communication. If you have watched some of the videos on the YouTube channel, you might be aware of these verbs already. So I'm going to go down in my notes, Kyle. Sorry, just a second. Okay. Ta-da! Good. Okay. So I want to introduce a few verbs that are key to talking about communication. So the first one, to review, I know many of you know these already, but just to review, a couple to talk about. First will be say, with the past tense said. So please keep in mind the past tense of say, said, has pronunciation said. It sounds like S-E-D, said, said. So some people say said, but that's not correct. So say is actually an irregular verb. So it has an irregular past tense conjugation. So we use say for simple reports. So just, there's not really a special feeling there. It's quite neutral. It's kind of flat. It's just, you're just reporting information only. That's it. So say, that's the first key verb I want to review. Another one I want to mention, I talked about on YouTube, is the verb tell. Tell, with past tense told as well. So we use tell, we use told for like one-way communication. So it's not only one-way communication, but it's like when one person is giving information to another person. It's very one-way. So there's not so much feeling of conversation here. It's just one way there. So tell is the other one, the second one I want to review today. Another good one for communication is the verb speak with past tense spoke. So I know we use this verb, of course, to explain our language abilities, like I speak English or I don't speak Chinese, or I spoke Spanish yesterday, for example. But we use speak as well to refer to kind of more formal conversations, but these are like two-way communication situations. So tell communication. So tell is used for like one-way communication, going in one direction really. But speak is used, that's with like a two-way conversation. And then, okay, and I'll introduce one more point after that too. So speak is the next one. The final one I want to introduce in this first group for today is the verb talk. So talk, the past tense of talk is talked. So the pronunciation there is not talked, but talked. Has a T sound. So this is also two-way, but it's casual. It's a two-way conversation. I talked to my friend. I talked with my friend. Then I want to mention also about talk and about speak. We use the preposition to, or we can also use with these. Both are okay. So like I spoke to my friend, I spoke to my boss, I talked with my friend, I talked to my boss. So you can use both to and with these verbs. So I want to look at a couple example sentences that use these then. So I would like to start with, sorry, I can't see. I would like to start with say. Yeah, the verb say. Sorry, I couldn't see what's going on. With the verb say, I think you'll see it up here in just a second. If we can take a look at that, please. Gracias. Okay, she said, my cake was delicious. So here is an example of how the verb say is used to report something that someone else said. So here we see in past tense, she said, my cake was delicious. I said I wanted to move. We are using said to share something another person verbalized in the past. So these are simple neutral reports. She said, I said. So when you want to give information, just do say, and past tense said. Okay. I want to go to a couple examples of the second verb, tell, then, if that's okay. So as I said, tell, we use primarily for one-way communication. So one person passing information to another person. Past tense is told here. So let's take a look at some example sentences, if it's okay. Yeah, nice. Okay, so here again, I have past tense because I'm reporting something in the past. This is a finished action. So here, my manager told me to fix a mistake. My manager told me to fix a mistake. So here, my manager, the speaker's manager, is passing information directly to the speaker in this case. So my manager told me, it was one way. Same thing here. His mother told him to come home. His mother told him. So again, one-way communication from the mother to him. So this is what we use tell to do. Let's go on to the next set with speak. So as I said, speak is used to talk about your language abilities. I can speak, I can't speak. But we also use it for formal two-way communication. So like conversations you have at work as well. Like we'll see a couple examples in just a moment, actually. So these, I kind of included some business examples for this. Yeah, nice. So we can see I spoke with your boss about this. I spoke with your boss. So I'm using past tense again. I spoke with your boss about this. And we spoke to the client yesterday. So here you can see I used with in this first one. I spoke with your boss about this. And I spoke to the client about this. So we can use both with and to with the verb speak, or in this case, past tense spoke. So that's a couple examples of how to use speak and spoke. Then finally, let's end on the verb talk. As I said, talk we also use for two-way communication, so a conversation. But we also use this in more casual situations. So something that's not so like, not so formal. This is maybe better for a business situation. So talk. I talked. So again, this pronunciation, I talked to the neighbors last weekend, and the customers talked with the sales staff. So again, I used to and with here. We can use both to and with these verbs to explain the communication that's happening there. Okay, so I wanted to review these verbs quickly. If you missed it, don't worry. I'm going to erase this board for the next part of today's lesson. But if you want more information about these verbs, please take a look at the YouTube channel. There are a couple of videos there about these verbs and some examples of when and where to use them. So please go check that out if you want more about these points specifically. Okay, but let's take a break. Let's take a break. Today, as always, we have free stuff for you guys. This week, I was thinking it would be nice maybe to look at like this family and relatives one. Like, so every week we have free stuff. This week, again, we have our free PDFs for you on EnglishClass101.com. This week, I thought maybe the family and relatives one, as well as just your friends. So when you want to report something like your mother or your father or your relative said to you, you can use one of these maybe expressions, or you can pick up some vocabulary words to help you explain what that person said through these. So I thought this would be nice. Family one, also maybe a business one. I'll show you the business one later. But if you haven't downloaded these yet, these have, of course, some vocabulary words, like who the people are. In this case, it's your family members. But then there's a bunch of expressions on the back. So if you have a couple situations that I always make a mistake here, or I'm not sure how to express that, you can check out these expressions. It's not only vocabulary words. So please take a look. And then there are some holidays in this case. So if you want to talk about upcoming plans, it's good too. But this one is just the family one. I'll show you another one a little bit later. But these are free, so please go grab this. You can download this and a bunch of other ones too from the website. On YouTube, the link is below the video, and on Facebook, the link is above the video, also on Twitter. So please check that out. These are totally free, woohoo! So go get them. Go get them. Go download those. All right, but I want to go on to the second part of today's lesson. Let me get an eraser. So if you're just joining us, today we're talking about how to share previous conversations. So in the beginning, we talked about these verbs. But actually, today, we're going to focus on using this one in particular, using the verb say to report information. So using said to do that. We're going to focus there for today. But I want to move on to, as I said, some expressions that native speakers use. So I'm going to erase this. Don't worry, you can watch this back on the YouTube channel or the Facebook page if you missed it. But I want to go on to some things that native speakers, especially American English speakers, use. So many of you ask, what English do I speak? I speak American English. I speak West Coast American English. So I'm going to share a few phrases, a few ways that we report speech in the US as well. These are very casual, but you will hear these if you watch TV, if you watch movies, anything like that. So let's take a look. All right, I'm going to steal the mouse. Sorry, control desk. Beep, beep. Sorry. Okay, I can't find where I'm going. I'm so sorry. Okay, good. That's all. All right, so let's look at the first one. So the first expression I want to explain is this one. Was all. So this is one. I'm going to introduce two, and then we'll look at an example of how these are used. Was all and was like. Was all and was like. So when we say these, we say them really, really quickly. So I was all and I was like. I was all and I was like. But when we say them, it's super fast. I was all. I was like. So the S sound is quite prominent. I was like. So here, I'm going to show you in just a second an example of how we use these. So we use these expressions the same way that we use the verb say or the verb said. So let's take a look in just a second how to use these. We'll see it in just a moment. So we use these. They're expressions, yes, they're pairs of words, but we put them in the same place we would for said. So here we can see examples. He was all. You didn't call me. And I was like, I forgot. And he was like, whatever. If you don't know whatever, it means like, I don't care, it's no big deal, or I don't want to listen to you. So this, you can see, he was all. This part, we use it in exactly the same way as said. But we're using past tense, he was all. So this is quite a casual expression for said. So instead of he said, you didn't call me, and I said, I forgot, and he said, whatever, we use these very casual I was like, I was all, and I was like again. So we show the speaker with he or she or I, but we can change this to was all or was like. So this is one very, very common way to report speech that you can hear a lot, I think. Okay, so that's one. Then I want to mention as well a couple of other verbs that you might not think about for speech. They are go, and actually in past tense, went. We use go and went to report speech as well. Go and went. So we'll see an example of this in just a second as well. I have two example sentences so that you can see. And in this one, oh good, okay. So in this one, we'll look at present tense and in past tense as well. So here, you can see I have this in present tense. I'll explain this a little later. He goes. Oh no, I deleted the file. And I go, what? And then he goes, oh, I found it. So here I've focused on the verb go, but we can use past tense as well. I went, what do you mean? And he went, I mean, you made a mistake. And I went, oh. So the same thing is happening here. I'm using go and went in present tense and in past tense to report speech. So these are quite casual, using go and went. We would not use these in formal situations to share speech, to report speech. Instead, it's better to use said in that case, or told, depending on the kind of communication. But go and went, we use like to report these very small little like everyday things. So try using these. And remember, when your subject is like he or she or it, we need to conjugate the verb. He goes, she goes. And then here, I go. So present tense is fine. Past tense went is also okay. Right. And again, I'm using these, I'm focusing on these verbs in these sentences. But when you actually use these in everyday life, it's good to mix them up. So I'll show you an example of how to do this a little bit later as well. Okay, if you have questions too, send them through. I can't watch the chat super closely, but oh, hi Sam. Let's see, I don't see any questions, but if you have any questions, please feel free to send them through. Okay, for now though, let's move along. I'm gonna grab the mouse again. Go down in my notes. Oh, okay. Then I think I'll go on. What should I do? I guess we'll take another quick break because we can. And we'll introduce, I said I was gonna introduce a couple more of the free things that we have for you guys this week. Earlier, I showed you this free PDF about your family, your relatives, some expressions you can use with them. So, the PDF is Crush Your Goals. Oh, really? Oh, interesting. Okay, we have a different one. It's a new one. Oh, I have just learned there's an extra new PDF. So let's take a look at that. Let's look. I think it's a totally new one. The team just made this. Woo, I am excited. Let's take a look. Crush Your Goals is the name of the PDF. So I think you'll see it in just a moment. Yeah, there it is. Okay, Crush Your Goals, exciting. So many of you have asked about like study strategies, what to do, how to improve your English. You can check out this PDF. This is in the link below the video on YouTube, above the video on Facebook. If you are trying to think of a way to study, like how to make your study plan, check this out. So this can maybe be helpful, extra helpful for like beginners as well, I think. So lots of you I know are just starting, so check this out if you're looking for a place to begin everything. And of course, check the website too. So check everything out at EnglishClass101.com. Okay, let's move on then. So I want to use all of these kind of very casual ways of reporting speech in an example dialogue. So I made a very exciting example dialogue. Let's take a look at how to apply all of these in a dialogue. Good. Okay. So let's take a look. I've used a bunch of different ways of reporting speech here. So let's look. First, I said he asked. You can use ask. When you want to report a question, you can use ask. Here I have past tense. He asked. He asked. How have you been? And I was like. So here's my very casual. I was like, which means I said. So he asked, how have you been? This is a nice question in general too. He asked, how have you been? And I was like, good, how about you? And he went, here I'm using past tense, he went, yeah, good, still looking for a new job. So I said, so here's one example, just a very neutral said, do you have any ideas? And he was all, so here I'm using all, he was all, not really. So you can see in this example dialogue, this is very typical of a native speaker. We mix all of these together. So I've used asked, was like, went, said, and was all here in this case to express a very casual conversation. So if you use the same expression, if you use was like, and I was like, and he was like, and she was like, it's not uncommon, but it sounds a little bit better if you mix many of these reporting expressions together. So try to do that. Okay, then the last thing I want to mention, maybe some of you have seen, I've used past tense in this expression, in this dialogue here. But some people ask, what's the difference between past tense and present tense for reporting? Sometimes you'll see like even progressive tense used as well. So what's the difference between these two? I have a couple sentences there, if we can take a look at that. We'll see in just a second. But when you use, essentially, before we see the sentences, you'll see that present tense is used to share like something that's happening now. It makes the listener or the reader feel like they're experiencing the story now. So, did we see? Yeah, it's that one right there. Perfect. Okay. So here, I have an example. This sentence, the top sentence, is in present tense. The bottom sentence is in past tense. So what's the difference here? We're reporting the same information. What's the difference? So he says, and I go. So I have present tense. And in this sentence, so he said, I want to see a movie this weekend. And I went, let's go hiking instead. So the difference is very, very small. Essentially, you're communicating the same information. That part doesn't change. It's just kind of how the listener or how the reader experiences your story. This one, present tense, sounds like maybe you can experience the story right now. It's happening right now. If you use past tense, it sounds more just like a simple report, kind of. So it's just a statement of, it's just fact, simple fact, just a report only. So you'll hear, for example, if you watch the news, you'll see, or you'll hear rather, past tense used more in the news because it's just simple reporting. in everyday conversations for effect, and also in like stuff you read sometimes too. You'll see present tense used in those cases. So you can keep this in mind. You can choose to use present tense or past tense. It's up to you. All right, good. So that's everything I wanted to mention for today. I'll take a look at any questions. I'm seeing, okay, good. So far it looks okay. Yeah, so I go. Someone wrote I go in the YouTube chat. I go is again, it's very casual, like, so I go and then I went. It sounds quite casual. And actually, another fun point, sometimes we use these a little bit in like arguments. And then I was all, and then he was all, and she was like. So these are quite useful in arguments as well. Okay. Junior, in this case, you can just use all in the beginning and in the end. So, and I was all and he was all. Do you mean at the we typically use it before we report the thing someone said. I was all. What? He was all. Yeah. We say it before. So we use these expressions before the thing someone has told us. Yeah. Okay. Thanks for the question. Anything else? I don't see anything else. Good. Okay. Nice. So I guess we have a couple more minutes left. So maybe let's finish today by reporting something someone said to you. So think of something someone said to you recently and try to explain that. So for example, in my case, let's see, I could say my producer said hi to me this morning, for example. So a very simple sentence. Here, I'm using just a simple reporting verb. My producer said, sorry, this is an H, hi. My producer said hi to me this morning. My producer said hi to me this morning. So a very, very simple report of something someone said to me. My producer said, past tense, said hi to me this morning. So what is something someone said to you? Can you report something to finish today? What is something someone said to you? Tell you about get for speech. We can say I got to talk about your emotional state, but not so much for reporting information. Yes, hi producer. So my producer said hi to me this morning. Yeah. Daniel on YouTube says, my crush said goodbye to me last week. Oh, forever? Your crush? So if you don't know, if you're watching on YouTube, you can see Daniel's comment. He used the word crush. Crush. So my crush. He said my crush. Crush means the person that you are attracted to. Someone that you are attracted to, but you're not in a relationship with them. It's like just the beginning stages. That's your crush. Nashira says, my husband said he loved me. Aw, very nice. Good. Okay. Another person said, someone said he was thinking about me. Nice. Okay. Sterling says, my teacher said I did a great job. Perfect. Perfect. Luis says, John Lennon went, war is over. And I was like, I wish. Nice one. Very nice one. Great. Great example. Okay. Others. Technoland, I am reading the comments. Alicia said to use contracted forms to sound more natural. Nice one, Paolo. Yeah. Okay. APE says, hey, what if the conversation was between more than two people? Yeah, good question. You can use the same verbs. But when the conversation is between more than two people, more than just like me and my boss, then you can use names. So who said that? Person A said, person B said, person C was all, and then person D was like. So use names to report things in conversations with lots of people. Nice question. Kajal, I said hi to Alicia on Instagram this morning. Oh, did you? Hi. Kawar says, my mom said she loved me more than a rose. That's very nice. Okay. Other things. On Facebook, Jonathan says, Mike said to me he had gone to the office before I came. Okay. Landry says, my girlfriend said I'm cute. Oh, that's very nice. Very nice. Okay. Sterling says, my friend and I went to a movie. She said the movie was great. Yeah, exactly. Good. So I think you guys can use said quite easily. So try to kind of level up then, or think about these other expressions like was all and was like and go and went to express the things other people said, because I think that'll help you sound a little more natural. And you'll also, if you watch TV and movies, you will hear this. I'm very sure you'll hear this. So check this out. Keep this in your mind to think about. Okay, let's finish up today's lesson. So that's everything for today. Thank you for your great comments. Thank you for participating as always. Sorry, my chair is so squeaky. Let's look at next week's topic though. So next week we're going to be back, of course, same time, same channel, with a new topic, a different topic. So we're kind of focusing on conversation, building conversation skills. Building conversation skills right now. So for next week, you'll see here, we'll talk about how to disagree with someone. So I want to share how to disagree politely, I hope, but also like some ways that maybe you can disagree with people you're close to. So quick and easy ways to disagree. This will be the focus for next week's lesson. So that will be next week, April 25th, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's New York City time. If you don't know your local time, please Google it at timeanddate.com. You can check that out. So please join us for How to Disagree, April 25th, next Wednesday night. We'll be here. Of course, please don't forget to get your your Crush Your Goals study strategy cheat sheet. That would be good. You can get that for free from EnglishClass101.com from the link below the video on YouTube and above the video on Facebook. That would be good. Go check that out. Great if you are just starting. For beginners, really good for beginners to help you plan your road going forward. So please check that out. But we'll finish here for today. So I hope you can use these right away in your everyday life. And we'll be back next week with some other good stuff. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for liking and sharing the video and for sending your great questions and your great comments. Enjoy the rest of your day, enjoy the rest of your night and your weekend, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye.